God is gay. God is a lesbian. God is trans. God is gender non-binary. God is straight. God is cisgender. God is black. God is white. God is Middle Eastern. God is Asian. God is differently abled mentally and physically. God is able-bodied. God is you, and you are God because you are a reflection of God's divine image.
Drag is holy. There has been an assault on the rights of drag performers in this country, and we must call out the hypocrisy and the injustice. Jesus called himself a mother hen longing to gather up her chicks. Gender is a construct, you see. And if Jesus can be a mother hen, then you can dress in drag. I've even heard it said that Jesus was, and humanity is, God in drag. So let me say this again for those of you in the back. Drag is holy.
Jesus said you love, period. Jesus said you welcome people, period. Jesus said you extend radical hospitality, period. Jesus did not say one single word of condemnation about anyone based on sexual orientation or gender identity. In fact, the only mention Jesus really makes of it is this passage in Matthew. Maybe you're familiar with it. It's actually an affirmation. It's buried in ancient language, and it's surrounded by this weird teaching about divorce. But what Jesus said is this, that if you are a eunuch, and you have been a eunuch since birth, that was an ancient way of saying that if you differed from what was expected in terms of what we would call today sexual orientation or gender identity, that if you were a eunuch and you had been a eunuch from birth, that you were loved by God.
Jesus was a progressive. And when I say that, I mean it in the purest form of that word. Jesus wanted progress. Just think about Jesus' life and ministry. He was working for justice for those who were living on the margins of society. He proclaimed radical inclusion for those who had been excluded. He proclaimed that no one should have too much or too little, that there should be a fair wage so that everyone could survive. And in his healing ministry, he went around offering free healing and never charged anyone a cent. He believed in free health care. Jesus was not a conservative. He was not interested in conserving the current order. He was interested in making progress. Be like Jesus. Be a progressive.
If you have ever been made to feel that you are less than because of who you are or who you love, if you've ever been told that you're sinful or you're going to hell, if you've ever been afraid to come out of the closet because you are afraid that you'll lose relationships of friends and loved ones, if you have come out and you've lost those relationships, or if you know someone who is suffering in silence, hear this message. You are exactly who God created you to be. You are loved and affirmed by God and by this community of faith. Love conquers all things, and love always wins in the end.